Hi, everybody. I'm going to just talk a little bit about social work ethics. First thing I want to say is if you look in the goals of every single module that we do in this class, you will see that one of the ongoing goals of every single class is a reference to the National Association of Social Workers Code of Ethics. It's very important. It's what all social workers run by. Actually, the Code of Ethics is developed by the National Association of Social Workers president, and then it's approved by the board. And it actually, even though if you are a member, you definitely follow the Code of Ethics, it is believed that all social workers, whether you're an NASW or not, should be acting and having their performance at work always reflect those values. So you might say to yourself, well, what happens to me if I don't? Well, social workers, both bachelor's degree and master's degree, are licensed today. And if you are found guilty of violating the social work ethics, you can lose your license, which of course means you're also going to lose your job, your ability to use insurance, to bill for services. People aren't going to want to hire you. So you want to be able to follow those ethical standards. The truth is, if you were to ever be sued or anything, or end up in some kind of trouble for something you did as a social worker, even if you are not an NASW member, if you ended up in a court of law, they would use the NASW Code of Ethics to compare your behavior. So it's pretty important. They are based on 5 basic values, or wait, it's 6 values, I think. Can't count. I'm going to just make sure that I have them all so I don't miss them, so you'll have them for the quiz. The values of social work are the dignity and worth of people, to have integrity as a social worker, to be of service as a social worker, to recognize the importance of human relationships, to be competent as a social worker, and social justice. So those are the 6 values. The ethical principles come out of those values, and I am going to go over each of them. Altogether, there's 51 ethical principles, so you're not going to be able to remember all that, but they are the gold standard for anybody doing social work. So I'm just going to run past a couple. So of the social work values, each one is then attached to one of the ethical principles. The ethical principle to clients, social workers' ethics to clients, there are 17 points. I'm just going to let you know 4 of them. So ethically, we have to make sure that we get our clients' consent to treat them. We have to make sure ethically that we are competent and don't treat clients that we are not trained to treat. We have to make sure that we are culturally competent with our clients. And we have to maintain confidentiality with our clients. So those are 4 of 17 in our ethics to our clients. In our ethics to our fellow colleagues as social workers, there are 10 altogether. I'm just going to let you know about 3 of them. One is that we respect each other. The second is that we need to be able to report to someone, to a director, to the NASW, if we have a colleague who is either incompetent or is practicing in an impaired state. So if they're coming to work drunk, or they are not getting all their licensing requirements, we are obliged to report that. We are also supposed to make sure that we have a mutually respectful relationship with all of our colleagues. We need to take conflict to a supervisor and not have it in the workplace. Our ethical responsibilities in a practice setting, and that's to the agency or the school we work for. There are 10 principles there. 2 of them I'm just going to let you know. One is that we make sure that we have supervision, that we are being trained so that we are practicing in a way that someone is keeping an eye on us. Another is billing. We have to make sure that we bill in a fair and ethical way and that we are reasonable with clients in our billing. Another ethical principle is our social work ethics of responsibilities to other professionals out there. This kind of speaks to the importance of all human relationships, and this is where we have to make sure that we practice without discrimination, and that when we practice, we are not impaired when we are dealing with other professions. The 5th ethical responsibility is to the social work profession, so that we have 2 basic principles to the social work profession. One is that we maintain a high standard of ourselves, of our integrity, and of our practice. And the second is that we do research, that we don't practice things without making sure that there is a researched component to them. And finally, there is the social work responsibilities to broader society, and there are 4 of these. 2 of them, I will just tell you. One is that social workers have to advocate for social welfare. That's part of our job, is to be advocates, to work on a macro level. Another one is to take a role in political action. And as I said, there was 2 of 4. So that's it. Based on what I just said, there's going to be a brief quiz after this. I'm hoping you took a few notes. It didn't have to be real specific. I will leave this open so you can come back to it if you need to. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Thanks for learning about ethics and practice.